Across SEN Track, it's time to hear from the leading tipsters across chasing, pacing and racing with the Early Crow.
Yes, the Early Crow on a Tuesday morning, checking out the best on chasing, pacing and racing. And I'm going to go straight to chasing because Addington Greyhounds begin in about 6 or 7 minutes. And the team from Greyhound Racing NZ have got one for us, a juicy each way in the first. Race 1, number 3, Primo Doll. Currently $7.50 at Bet365. So that's their first tip today. Addington Greyhounds, race 1, number 3, Prime Doll, $7.50. And then go across to race 6, number 5, Smash Dragon at $4.20. So the 2 Addington Greyhound fancies, race 1, number 3, and race 6, number 5. Addington Greyhounds, as I say, that first race in about 6 or 7 minutes if you want to go early with Primo Doll, number 3. You can check out more by going to grnz.nz. Greyhound Racing, you know it is breakfast with the Kiwis, and Addington Greyhounds is the early Greyhound meeting for us. With also looking over there today, there's an Addington Extra card that will be run later on in the afternoon as well. So let's focus in on racing. And today we're at Goulburn in New South Wales. That track's improved. Neil Evans from a heavy 8 to a soft 7.
Yes, hello, Benz, and hello to everyone as we start another racing week. And yes, the weather's pretty good down there around Goulburn. It's a little bit cloudy today, but pretty clear. And we got to a 7 pretty early, and I dare say we might even be close to a 6 by the time we get rolling. So certainly the track on the improve, and we'll see if we can cut into the card.
All right, where do we go for the first one?
First one, we get out of the blocks in race 4, first best bet, number 9, Mistaken Identity, which I believe is the race third up for this horse. I don't think it's an overly strong maiden, 1,400 metres, and with the scratchings, I prefer the horse drawn out, but with the scratchings, it now jumps, there's 5 out, so it jumps 10, gate 10 of 11, which I think is fine. It'll settle back, and I think it can finish over them and PT third up. So opening best bet, Ben's race 4, number 9, Mistaken Identity.
$2.50 right now for Blake Spriggs and Matt Smith, the trainer there. So that's race 4, number 9?
Yes, that's halfway through. We go all the way through for the second of our best bets, race 8, right down the bottom there. Role Play, who is shooting for 3 straight. Very nice 4-year-old mare here who's suited in what I think it's a benchmark 66. So the horse is up in grade, but I really don't think it's too much tougher. Gets weight off just about every horse bar one. And I think Role Play will be suited late in the day to settle back and come down over the top of them for the very much in form, going good, Kerry Parker from Kembla. And I think he can cap the card here. So second of the best bets, very keen, race 8, number 12, Role Play.
And think it over, doing the right things for Kerry. But
yes.
Winona Costin, fair dinkum, she's knocking up riding winners at the moment. She's just, wherever she goes, she's getting at least one.
Mm. Yes, there's a bit of toughness there across all 3, isn't there? I think it over. Digs in like you wouldn't believe. And Winona, she's had some setbacks, hasn't she, injury-wise, isn't that? But I tell you what, she's as tough as any going around.
Yeah, she is. $3.50 for Role Play at Bet365. So it's 4, 9 and 8, 12. So then take us through the quaddie starting with race 5.
Yeah, race 5 kicks off the quaddie, maiden handicap over the mile. Just 2 numbers here to play with. I think this is the race for Silver Scissors for Joe Pride, another stable, of course, well in form. 4th up over this trip, and with Champions League out, it's a pretty thin race. And there are a lot of my mates in this one, the Dirty Grey Syndicate, so I wish them well. They only invest in grey horses. That's their little quirk. So they'll be confident Silver Scissors can win today. The other one I put in, mate, Festival Dancer, again for Matthew Smith, I think is the danger. So 3 and 6 get us rolling in the quaddie race 5. Well, 1 out in race 6, as you'd expect, with 9 Verbeck. A few scratchings here. This really shouldn't be much more than a barrier trial for Verbeck, second up, over the 1,200. And I like the fact he's drawn a few barriers out, can stay out of trouble, and it should just be winning. Number 9, Verbeck in race 6. Then we go to race 7, a bit more wider now. 3 numbers here. Glamour Runs Deep for Matt Dale, first up, is the on-top horse. Does come to hand quickly, and it's been in work for a long time without trialling. I doubt I'd be sort of storming into anything too short, but it has to be in, of course. The other 2, 8 London Gal, Second up for local trainer Scott Collings, first run at the track. And also Silk Tie, 3-year-old filly, coming back for John Thompson at Randwick, goes in as well. So 7 on top, ahead of 8 and 10. And we bring it home in one of the more open races. As I mentioned, 12 Role Play for me, the one to beat. The other 3 in the quaddie, we go 5 Mystic Vein for Gary Portelli. 9, I think, Sedanger Elvina. Dropped out last start, but I think can bounce back here third up. And the other one to include Eurosay, who's an honest galloper from Canberra. This is a bit of a drop in grade, but would need to be at its best to win. So, but we'll put it in number 6 for insurance. So in the last, Ben's the quaddie, 12 on top, 9, 5 and 6.
Okay, so race 5, it's 3 and 6. Race 6, number 9. Race 7, 7, 8 and 10. And race 8, 12, 9, 5 and 6. And recapping the best, 4, 9 and 8, 12 for Goulburn. Good on you, Neil. Are you on Facebook or what else has got this morning? Twitter's the only one. We're standing tall at Twitter.
I'm a tragic Twitter man, as you know, mate. Yes, I do have the WhatsApp account and that in a bit, but I don't play much, and Facebook drives me insane most of the time. So I get sick of looking at people's holiday snaps. But I am on there, but I don't go there too often. No. I'm a dedicated Twitter man.
Yeah, tweets enough for me. People say you're on all these different things. I've got enough to do trying to get me news on Twitter, let alone worrying about everything else. But anyway, hopefully it'll start working shortly.
Yes, indeed. People say to me, geez, you've made a lot of tweets in your life. And I said, you reckon I've made a lot of tweets? Have a look at Ben's account. You can double it.
Posing the question, do I tweet too much? Maybe I need to put that out. I don't know.
No, I don't think you can, mate. Not in today's world. No, everyone's there somewhere. So I think you power on for sure.
We'll just keep going. Good on you, Neil. We'll talk to you Thursday.
Yep, no problems at all, mate.
Good on you. Neil Evans joining us there talking about Goulburn today. For our listening audience in the Sunraysia of Victoria, Mildura race today. Fine and a good track there. And Peter Ellis, good morning.
I'm Andrew. How are you? My pen and paper's still working really good, so never had a problem with it.
No, if you start relying too much on computers or something, you know what's going to happen. So you've just got to...
Well, if there's a power outage, if there's no power, or you can't get online, you can't do what you want to do, can you?
No, these days. No, I've got a notebook here with so much notes in it. You've got to write it down, I reckon. Anyway, the last race today at Mildura is your best bet.
Yeah, I've gone with Dylan to tell you, particularly the weights. She's a promising mare, only lightly raced. First up last prep, she got the money, dead heated at Mornington, and just didn't have a lot of luck at Yarragreen, and then went to Caulfield and was third to Diamonds in the sky, only beaten ahead, was wide, hit the lead and got run down late. So she got a lot of talent, so I'm happy to go with her. In the last race,
okay.
Rain Beale in that race at Caulfield was second. Rain Beale will be odds on in this. So race 8, number 5, Donna Natalia.
Okay, $2.05 at this stage at Bet365. John Salmonitri and his brother Frank joined us earlier on our Victorian show. There's a group of interviews about Mildura on our podcast page. So the first leg of the quaddie, we're back at race 5 here, Pete. And what have we got? North Anna's the favourite at 380 over the Mitre at 550.
Yeah, I like the Mitre at 1-258. That was 3 and 4 runs ago. Went to Warwick, wasn't disgraced there. Covered a bit of ground, and then last start at Geelong probably just found the 2400 too far on a 64, but wasn't disgraced behind the inform leader in Grey Khan. So I'm happy to go with him. I've got Acadia Queen first up here for Port Pushka. Is a class runner. First up last August actually won it to Warringtonville over the 1800, and first up last prep in a much better race than this, was placed over a mile at Ballarat. So expect it to run well. And North Anna, the favourite, certainly turned form around, winning us last 2 at Tatura. And at Coleraine, both 58s, both on tracks with a bit of give in it. So expect it to drift a little in the market, 3, 1 and 4.
The second leg, race 6, the Enzo for Jared Fry, $2.75 favourite. Your fancy Boom Boom Sweet is at $4.50 at the moment.
Yeah, was okay for him to go 2 runs ago behind Spanish Poet, and again in a better race than this. Probably just found a mile too far last start at the Penella. I think the key to him is dry tracks in 1400. If you go back over the summer period, won at Donald on the good, and went to Geelong over the 1400 and got the money easily, beating Echo Boomer. He's got solid city form since. So I'm happy to go with Boom Boom Sweet. The Enzo has been racing well. Got a good record at Mildura. Was a nice placing there at Bendigo 3 runs ago behind Onslaught, the speedy Onslaught, and Ripper Eagle, ex-New South Wales Gulliver. Past 2 runs have been very good. Just got nailed on the line. It's Swan Hill last start of the big prize. That was a mile back to the 1400 suit. So I'm 2, 4 and 8.
2, 4 and 8 there. No Way Ever is the shorty in the third leg of the quaddie. $2 right now for Ma and Eustace. King's Ransom is there at $4.80, and we got them today, son, at $6.50.
Yeah, they're the 3 chances, all 3-year-olds. With King's Ransom, was impressive on debut at Kilmore. That was back in Feb. And got a mile back in a listed race at the Valley, and then had excuses there in the showdown at Caulfield. That was the last run in April, so I'm happy to go with it. The Ma Eustace fillies, obviously the danger. One of debut at Pakenham, that was on the synthetic. Went to the grass at Sandown, finished midfield behind Dancer in the Mill. And we got him today. I would like the way it hit the line at Kyneton first up off a break. Did show promise in his first campaign. So they've all got strong chances, 3, 7 and 5.
And expand your thoughts here in the last. You're keen about the favourite, but what about the other numbers?
Yeah, I think you'll get a better price than it is in a minute. The top 2 are really good city class horses almost. Yearlong Night was placed in a 64 at Maui, then again at Cranbourne behind More Wanted has been in good form. Then last but just wide in the slow lane. You had to be up the front near the fence, which it wasn't. Reward with Efforts, got really good metro form. Did run second to Easy Single at Swan Hill last start. Just missed there. Easy Single went to the Valley Friday night and won by 4. And where are we? Reward for returning year. So they're the 3, Andrew. 5, 2 and 3. I'll take the trifecta. I think that might be a good way to earn $1 as well.
Okay.
5, 2 and 1, I should say, in the last race.
Yeah, 5, 2 and 1. All right, so recapping the quaddie thoughts for Peter, for Mildura, Bet365 Mildura, race 5, 3, 1 and 4, race 6, 2, 4 and 8, race 7, 3, 7 and 5, and race 8, 5, 2 and 1, and the best being in the last race 8, number 5. And Pete, our banter in about 20 minutes from now is with former jockey, now trainer Dale Smith. Remember Smithy in Victoria?
I do. He used to ride for Mick Price regularly, didn't he?
Yep.
One of the many Victorians. Did he go? He went to Queensland.
Queensland, yeah, he did. Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of ex-Victorians. Ryan Maloney and of course Stephanie Thornton. It just goes
Ben
on
Thompson,
and on.
Ben Thompson.
There's a stack of them going up there and had a lot of success in Queensland. The climate's good up there, whereas where you and I are today, it's about 17 or 16 and showery, isn't it? Whereas Mildura's 23, 29 tomorrow in Mildura.
It might be the place to get to, if only we could, 15k outside our living area. Pete, we better leave it there. We're getting into controversy. We'll talk to you later on in the week.
Thanks, Andrew.
Peter Ellis checking out Mildura. Bet365 Mildura, fine and a good track. Nick Lloyd's online to look at Rockhampton. Morning to you, Nick.
Good morning, Andrew. How are you today?
Very well, mate. Only 6 races at Rocky.
I know. Obviously, they want to stay at your poon by the looks of it. 6 races and a few slim cards throughout the day. But look, there's a couple of winners to be had at least, and it's good to be back on the home track.
Yeah, fine and a good 4 there at Rocky. So where do we go, mate?
Andrew, race 4 will start off at Garnet Taylor. He's got 2 first starters in the race, and I thought the one that's probably the outsider of the 2 of them at $5 there, and Peter the Piper was a pretty good bet here. 3-year-old son of Altius. Only had the 1 trial at the Sunshine Coast on the September 21st, but I really like what it did. It got beat 4 lengths according to the race book there, but it was certainly closing off very well. The 2 horses that led that trial, they went out pretty quick in front. And really rolled along. And what this horse did late was really pleasing to the eye. On times that they ran about 1.5 seconds quicker than the other Garnet Taylor horse, Dogger's Dance. Same trial distance, same day there at the Sunny Coast. So the fact that we're getting $5, I think that's pretty absurd, really. And Ryan Wiggins, he's got a good affiliation with Garnet, so I wouldn't be surprised if he got the pick of the 2 there, and he's gone with the one who I think can get the job done.
Okay, so Peter the Piper at $5. Parkburn's the favourite in that race at the moment at $2.70. Where's your second best?
We'll go to the next race, Andrew. Favourite of mine, race 5, horse 1, Only Want to Sing. been well backed overnight into $1.85, but the horse is flying, and he found form again last prep. He raced away to win by 3.5 there at Townsville over the 1200. He's a 5 times winner at Rockhampton, and the 1300 metres at Rocky he's won at the track and trip before. So from barrier 8, it is the outside alley, but as you said earlier, there's small fields today and not too much work to do to get across there at Rocky from the 1300 metre start. You've got a bit of time to find a spot, and I think he'll just cross over under Ash Butler control and hopefully be too strong late. And obviously the Rockhampton track there at Callaghan Park, they've had a bit of a refurbishment, so I expect the track to be racing in superb order this afternoon.
Okay, so only want to sing, gee, it was a win there last time. And Ashley Butler, gee, rides some winners.
He does. He's heavily underrated, I believe. I think he's probably the best jockey up there in Rockhampton. As I suppose at the moment, without Justin Stanley riding up there, he's still on the sideline. So Ash has really been able to make the most of the opportunities. But yeah, he's riding winners galore at the moment.
I'll have to chase up Justin Stanley. You've reminded me on that one. All right, so they're the two for Rocky, race 4, number 3, and race 5, number 1. Thanks for your time, Nick. We'll talk to you later in the week.
No worries, Andrew. Thank you. Cheers.
Nick Lloyd, who helps us with our Central Queensland, Northern Queensland form. He's all over it, and we thank him for that today at Rocky. Let's take a break. We'll look at chasing and pacing next. Yes, we're on the early crow on a Tuesday before our banter with former jockey and now trainer Dale Smith in Queensland. By the way, a snippet of news coming through on jockey Brandon Griffiths in New South Wales. He's been riding really well of late, had good success on Will Friedman's horse Ang Pao. He's got a suspected fractured collarbone. He was riding at Scone this morning and obviously got thrown off one. He's off to the local hospital. So thoughts with Brandon after that this morning. Joining us now is Mick Kelly with the latest. I've made the firm decision that we're only using it once a morning now. Once a morning, whether it be the intro or the outro, Mick. So I'll move it round.
I can live with that.
Yeah, I'll just move it round and wait and see what happens, whether I get a flow for running it more than once, but just once this morning. Mate, what's Bull Eye Racing on Tuesday about?
Mate, talking about mixing it up, mate, we're doing the exact same thing. We've got Bull Eye on Tuesday afternoon. Now that Wenty's back into the rotation, it gives us the opportunity, because Bull Eye was filling in some of those Wednesday nights and the Saturdays, and just gives us an opportunity now to just mix it around. And we put the whole plan is putting the right venues and the right races in the right slots in terms of optimising wagering. And the guys in our racing team do a fantastic job, and they've come up with Bull Eye on a Tuesday afternoon. And mate, I'm not going to argue with that for sure. It fits in nicely. It gives you different kinds of racing. You've got the long track at Richmond, at Bull Eye, the one-turn track, and then you've got Lismore and Gosford this evening on the tighter circle tracks. Plenty of opportunity and options for any sort of punter looking for a bet on the dogs in New South Wales.
So let's look at it. Bull Eye begins, it'll be a bit after 2:30 around that time today. So what have you found there for us?
Yeah, our best comes up at Bull Eye in race 5. It's a young dog called Zipping Rowan, the 2. Look, it was pretty sound when it was only beaten 2 lengths second in 22 and 60 here at Bull Eye on September 22, and that was at its debut. And then made amends for that last start with a 26.61 win just 3 days later. 26.61 may not sound like it's flying around that Bull Eye 472, but for a young dog, it's not a bad effort first up over that 472. So we think it will improve from that. It's obviously drawn nicely in the 2 to find the fence very early on, and we just think it in this class of race it should be very, very hard to beat. So it's race 5, number 2, Zipping Rowan.
$2.65. It's favourite, but holding up okay at this stage with Bet 365. Then we've got 2 meetings tonight. Lismore, the first of those.
Yeah, Lismore, not a bad card at Lismore, and there's some handy young dogs going around there too. Our best comes up in race 6. It's dog number 5, San Polo. This is a pretty smart pup. It's got a lot of high speed and has been running some great races at Grafton. In fact, it's won 5 out of 10 with 3 placings, and all of those have been at Grafton. We don't think the tighter track at Lismore will be too much drama at all. Is a bit of a worry, the draw, that the 5 box, but we think it can overcome that as well. It's a pretty smart dog, as we said, in good hands. So we think that's the best on the program. Race 6, number 5, San Polo.
But when you start thinking about Bull Eye on a Tuesday, which is unusual, just come home to Gosford.
There you go. Always, yeah. It's like the ever reliable one that you can count on, isn't it? Yeah. Dapto Thursday, Gosford Tuesday. They're always there. They'll never let you down. Yeah. Whenever you need some comfort, you just rely on that. And Gosford tonight, our best bet comes up. It's in race 8. Dog number 1, Lagoon Greta. This dog was impressive on debut, 2 runs back, winning in 22.41 around Gosford. Then last start, just forget it went around, had no luck at all. From the 1 box tonight, it will be registering win number 2 from 3 starts. So it's race 8, number 1, Lagoon Greta.
$2.50 right now at Bet365. So they're the best for the meetings. You can grab more by going to thedogs.com.au. Bulleye 5-2, Lismore 6-5 and Gosford 8-1. Thanks for your time, mate. We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
We will indeed. When Wenty and the Sydney Cup heats tomorrow, we'll talk about.
Yeah, no, we will for sure. Mick Cowley joining us there with the very latest on New South Wales Greyhound racing. The tips through for Devonport Greyhounds this afternoon for tasracing.com.au. And here they are for us, popping up into the system for Devonport from Mike Clark, the form analyst there for Devonport. Race 3, number 6, Headwall. Race 3, number 6, the best for Devonport Greyhounds. More information by going to tasracing.com.au. The Watchdog, good morning.
Morning, Andrew. How are we?
Very well. And a Tuesday starts with Healesville, that meeting not far away from the first race.
Yeah, it kicks off nice and early, and we've got to wait till race 7, though, for our best there. And it's number 2, Whistling Bullet. At the moment, you can get around $2.40, and I just think she drops in class today. She's been placing 2 or 3 up the straight, so that's always a good sign. And with her early speed, the one likes to move off the track and takes a few strides to get going. The 3 is another one that will stay wide. So Whistling Bullet confirmed she should take her pretty early, and she's a class above these, so I reckon she'll get the cash. And I think the 240 is a really good price.
So that's Healesville. That first race in just over 40 minutes from now, but our best is in race 7. Then we go to Horsham this afternoon.
Yeah, tough card at Horsham, but I think I found one at a sort of a good price. It's $2.60. We're going to race 8, number 3, Ivy Isabel, and I just think the way the race is going to be run, it'll suit her. She's got a really good turn of foot once she hits the ground. She'll move to the inside, and 1 and 2 both have good early speed. So if they can lead, she'll be able to shoot up underneath them, and number 4 will stay wide through the turn. So she should get a clear passage. She's racing with tremendous confidence, and she's really strong in the run to the line, and that long straight at Horsham will really suit her. So I think she'll get the cash. I think the 260 at the moment is a pretty good price about her.
Okay, so that's Horsham. Then about half an hour after that, we've got a Twilighter at Geelong.
Yeah, lots of a few even races at Geelong, and the one I've come up with is normally a better straight tracker, but she has got form round a circle, and that's race 5, number 1, In the Pocket. Probably getting into pretty short now. It's even money, so it could be an anchor in your quaddies and multis, and she lit up the clock at Healesville last time, 19:29. That's clearly the fastest run she's produced. So she's on the improve. She's getting stronger. From the red, she should hold the top into the bend, and she'll boot away as they turn for home. And yeah, it should be a pretty stress-free ride. And the even money, I'd anchor her in the quaddies.
That's a good push. Geelong race 5. Warragul tonight. The Kirramar racing team always tune to us at SEN Track, and they always like your best tip on a Tuesday. So where do we go at Geelong, at Warragul?
We're going this one here. We're at race 5, number 1, and I'm really keen on this one, Hoppy Bob. And he comes up against a good one or 2 good ones in I'm the Sandman and Dale and Bale. But I'm the Sandman's poorly drawn, and Hoppy Bob, if you go back and look at his run at Sale 2 runs back, he exited the red and he showed tremendous mid-race pace. And even once as soon as he left the mat, he showed really good acceleration. So I'm expecting him to be able to hold the lead tonight. I think if he brings his Sale form to Warragul, he'll go about 24.85, maybe even a tag quicker, and that'll see him win comfortably. And at the moment, you're getting $2.90. I think that's a really good price.
Okay, so that's the best anywhere today for the Kirramar team. But you do like another one at Warragul.
Yeah, race 7, number 1, Voltage Spike. And this one here, $3.50, I think it's over the odds. She was a bit unlucky at Warragul last week. That was her first look at the track. And tonight she steps from the red. She's got a slow beginner on her outside. She's another one. She's got a really good turn of foot once she balances up. So I think she can hold the lead from the red, and she's the type of greyhound when she's out in the clear, that's when she does her best work, and she can carve out serious time. So at the moment, $350 will be the price. I think she'll get into about $250, maybe a tad shorter, and it could be a nice little quaddie there. One field, and hope for some value in the other legs.
All righto. So Healesville, the best is 7-2, Horsham 8-3, Geelong 5-1, and then tonight at Warragul, the best anywhere today is race 5, number 1, Hoppy Bob, and then race 7, number 1, The Other Fancy. Download the Watchdog app, and you'll be able to keep right up to date with Victorian greyhounds. Thanks, mate. Have a good Tuesday.
No worries, Andrew. You too.
That's
Cheers.
the Watchdog with the very latest. Let's move to pacing now on the early crow. Menangle in Sydney this afternoon have 10 races. From iForm, from Harness Racing New South Wales, their best is race 6, number 2, Smoltees at $1.60 at the moment at Bet365. Bit of value, though, back in the first race to be run at Menangle. Race 1, number 3, Sunny G, currently at $5. It is joint favourite at that quote. $5 and $2.10 the place for Kerry Ann Morris. So from iForm, 6-2 and 1-3. That's Menangle pacing. We've also got Wagga. Wagga pacing tonight. Race 2, number 10, the Irish Eagle. And I'll just get some prices up here for us at Bet365. The Irish Eagle at $1.85. And then go across to race 7, number 3, Mainland Magic at $5.50. So that's Wagga tonight, 2.10 and 7-3 from Harness Racing New South Wales iForm. Albion Park in Brisbane. Scotty Steele, good morning.
Good morning, Andrew. Good morning, listeners.
8 races there. How's the weather in Brisbane?
Yeah, outstanding, Andrew, at 26 degrees. We got as far as 35 yesterday, so it was a bit unusually warm, but no, weather fine, track fast, clear day. 8 races today, and the daylight saving gets us away a bit earlier now, which is good too.
I will say there'd be plenty of people listening this morning that would be craving for 35 degrees. Righto, where do we go, mate?
Well, Andrew, the best bet anywhere in Australia today is race 8, number 10, Kiwis Are Flying. You are taking short odds. I think it's around that $1.70, $1.65 mark, but I think this horse will run about $1.20. So any punters looking to put one into a multi, it'd be the first one to go in. Race 8, number 10, Kiwis Are Flying.
Yeah, $1.65 right now, so that's a good, keen start. Where do we go from there?
Race 3, number 1, Firehouse for Stephen Senior, Matthew Nielsen. The favourite in the race, Lovely Works, first up. Trialled okay, but I think we'll need the run first up. So I'm keen on the one here from the good draw. Race 3, number 1, Firehouse, around that $4 mark.
Yeah, $4.20 right now at Bet365. You got something else?
Yeah, race 6, Andrew. Number 6, Prince Joy. Whilst it's drawn a little bit awkwardly, Nathan Dawson to drive around that $5 mark each way, I reckon represents very good value. I think it runs top 3. Race 6, number 6, Prince Joy.
Okay, and that's at $4.40. So certainly the main one is race 8, number 10, but some value about the 2 others from Scott. Race 3, number 1, Firehouse, and race 6, number 6, Prince Joy. Thanks for your time, Scott. Enjoy your Tuesday.
Thanks, Andrew. Talk soon.
Scott Steele joining us there with the very latest from Albion Park. And finally, we've got Shepparton pacing in Victoria tonight. You can watch it all on Trot's Vision. Luke Humphreys calling the action. His value tip tonight is race 4, number 11, Rock Ridge, currently at $10 and $3.20 the place. That's the value tip for the night. Race 4, number 11, Rock Ridge. The legs of the quaddie in the first leg, race 4. He's playing 11, 9, 6 and 5. 11, 9, 6 and 5. Race 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9 in the trot. The third leg at Shepparton, race 6, Luke Humphreys likes 2 to beat 9, 8 and 3. And race 7, the last, Luke Humphreys likes 6 over 8, 7 and 4. And repeating, the value is race 4, number 11. And that brings you right up to date with the early crow. All the winners, you'll join us here Monday to Thursday mornings.